Welcome to the channel. Presented by the Beeline Entertainment, LLC. Enjoy the show.
People, what's good? Yo, check it out. Welcome to the Beeline ENT, LLC. What we got for you? First off, we got the Beeline Web Show on Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, talking a little of everything. Then we got Straight Through the Rope, STR, baby, Wrestle Talk, where we talk all things pro wrestling. Next up, we got the Show Off Show, that's right, the Beeline ENT Entertainment. And then on Sunday nights, we going live on the line with that group panel discussion. Check us out. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Head on over to YouTube and subscribe. Also, pick up some merch. The Beeline ENT LLC. Let's go.
Hey, you out there, if you want energy like this, get the energy of me, Brian B. Enter that promo code Brian B NRG and get 10% off your order today. Get more W, get more power.
WTW Wrestle Talk Wednesdays.
That's right, it's your boy Brian B from the Beeline Entertainment LLC, followed by the American prodigy Warren Marlowe from the Buzzing with Marlowe podcast, and you know your boy Trey on Wheels from the 1130 podcast, talking that wrestling.
Yeah.
Be there and make sure you check in at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And right after that, for WTW, we got the STR Nation, baby. Brian B, Lay, Slim Jefferson, we talking wrestling. Join us 9 p.m. Eastern time, right after commission talks on WTW. Make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, buy the merch, check out the website. Do it all.
You can't tell me the deck is stacked. You can't whisper behind my back. You can't show me how the odds are up against me all day long. You can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. My feet have come too far for you.
Yes, you are, yes, you are, yes, you are the only one. 'Cause there's something special about you. Yes, you are, yes, you are, yes, you are the only one. 'Cause there's something special about you.
Check it out, people. Yo, I hope you guys can hear me. I don't know what the hell just happened. Something just happened with my headphones. I'm going to figure it out in a minute. But if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. We got a thumbs up. Everybody got a thumbs up. Kyle, I know you're waiting in the room there. We good? Okay, awesome. All right, awesome. I was making sure, I don't know if the headphones went out, but we got a show to do. Yo, listen, this Thursday, people, it's me, Brian B. And yo, we got an interesting topic today. I've been waiting to do this show for a while because yo, if y'all don't know, y'all should know we do Brian B playing over here. We got a lot of different games we like to play. Fallout, Resident Evil, Tekken, Mortal Kombat. Like we got a whole bunch of stuff we do over here. And we're gonna be talking about video games today, y'all. We're gonna be talking about new games that are coming, old games that we like to play, a lot of different topics. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We got the top five games that are based off of movies, yo. So your favorite movie come out back in the day, you used to get your action figures and stuff like that or whatever, and then all of a sudden, they got the game and it's on Sega, it's on Nintendo, it's on PlayStation. You have to ask your mother to buy that. It's Christmas time too. You listen, bro. My mom's used to stuff the games in the stocking, bro. You open up all your gifts and you ain't see that game, you be sad, and you open your stocking and the game be up in there. So that shit used to be rocking back in the day. Yo, we got a full show for you. My man Kyle here in the building. I'm gonna try to fix this little sound problem so I make sure everything going good. We got some updates about the show, the entertainment show as well. I'm gonna let you know, and then we're gonna get right to it. But before we do anything, we gotta do this. It's called the introduction. Let's go!
Let's make some noise.
It's me.
Brian B.
What's going on, Brian?
Hey, how you doing?
Who cares? Halloween. If you go temporary high. Yo, and you, everybody's on.
To understand the Garden with Eve was mostly just a story. What you know, I'm hardly a priest.
I'm always refraining good for you. With me,
Coming for Sunday morning,
and I never want.
It's the B-line. It's the B-line. It's the B-line. E-N-T.
That's right. It is the Beeline Entertainment LLC. I'm your boy Brian B, and we're gonna be talking tonight. If you haven't already, make sure that you go head on over to YouTube and you like and you share and you subscribe, because it's the only way you're gonna know what we're doing over here. You know what I mean? You got to do that so you can see what we're putting out regularly. And then, of course, if you don't do that, you can at least go to the B-Line Entertainment LLC.com, where you can get all the newest, latest things that we're doing as far as merchandise. We got shows. Watch all the shows for all the channels over there. You can also get some services if you got a show of your own, or you need some marketing done. We're looking to work with new sponsors, new partnerships. We're looking to make some deals, pay a few bills. You know what we're doing over here. But listen, we can't do anything before I get anything started. I got to get my partner up in here, bro. Like, he's been rocking with us on the ENT show, giving us some insight to some anime and stuff he's doing as well. He's got his own show. He rocking out. He do the editing work if you need it. Yo, we got none other than my boy, Mr. Kyle. Eric, what up, Kyle?
Well, that's good, B.
What's good, bro? All right, see, okay, good. I hear you. I just can't hear myself, and I don't know. Something's going on with my equipment. So I'm glad I can hear you at least on the speaker there. I'm gonna mess around and see if I can get anything. But go ahead, Kyle. Tell the people how you doing on this Thursday. It's cold. You said it's cold up there in Connecticut, right?
It's cold outside, bro. The winter has given us an early preview. I'm not gonna say it's here yet, because I live in Connecticut, so the weather patterns change like every few hours. It's like, okay, 1 minute it's snowing, the next minute the sun's out, and it starts getting like it's gonna be 50 degrees by next week. So I don't know, but we had our first snow of the season. It looked nice. I'm glad I was indoors. That's really crazy. Oh man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Connecticut, I'm pretty sure Connecticut gets pretty cold, right? Because I know back when I used to live in Jersey, people didn't think Jersey gets cold, but we dropped down to 20s around
Jersey. I know Jersey gets cold.
Yeah, Jersey definitely gets cold. And then you also have like Georgia. It's weird here right now because it's still like today it wasn't that bad, but the days before that it was like we was hitting like 40s, low 40s and stuff like that, especially at night. It really starts to change, but then all of a sudden it just pops back up to being hot. It's weird, bro. It's like you don't know when to turn the damn air on and and the heat at the same time.
We're like that same. It's been that same way, over here. Like before, I swear, when I was a kid, it was a bit more consistent. Now
Yeah,
it's
that's how I feel.
now it's like, okay, you wanna take out your you want to put your fall clothes and your like spring clothes and everything away and get your winter clothes and that winter coat and whatever, right? Next thing you know, it's like it raises back up to 60, almost 70 again in February. I'm like, wait, whoa, hold up.
Try to tell you, slow it down.
I was layered up yesterday. I was layered up. Like I'm wrapped up in blankets. Now you're telling me I can wear short sleeves again, but it's February, so I'm trying not to get used to it. You know what I'm saying? Nuts. Yep, now I can't hear you. Nope, can't hear you.
But all right, I think I'm back. You guys hear me all right now?
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah. I think that I had something blow out in my the line I was using for my cord. Yo, equipment messes up sometimes, bro. It ain't alive. It's just pieces of stuff. Yeah. But I think we're good now. So hopefully everything is on par. But yeah, man, like you were saying, like, we definitely are gonna get into some stuff tonight. It is the holiday season. Yo, Kyle, how was your Thanksgiving, bro? I forgot. We haven't seen each other since Thanksgiving and everything. Did you eat all the food we was top 5 in over there the last time?
Yeah. The top 5 food Thanksgiving sides. Yeah.
Good.
That was fun. Awesome. That was fun.
Yeah.
My Thanksgiving was good. Got to see some family, hang out with my little nephew, and got to see my older cousins. It was a good time. Had most of the stuff that was on my list for my side, for my meet, and just had some good conversation and just some laughs. It was a good time. It was a good time.
That's what's up. That's all you can ask for, man. Yeah. I had kind of an eventful one. It's been I don't know. It's weird. My family's kind of going through a lot of weird stuff right now. I mean, it's not like too bad, but it's just you got family, and sometimes they come around for good times and they come around for bad times, and you got to deal with it all. Mm-hmm. But we still had a really good Thanksgiving, and got some food. Was able to eat and chill and just relax a little bit. Take care of some business, but yeah, Christmas is coming up, and speaking of Christmas, guys, I wanted to mention that I'm pretty sure next week we're gonna do Christmas movies, yo. We're doing Christmas movies. We're gonna have the debate. We're gonna talk about our favorites. We're gonna definitely do top 5, Christmas movies, whatever. We'll figure it out as we go. But I wanted to have a deep discussion about. It's a video that I saw, and it's just like, are Christmas movies hitting like they used to, bro? Because think about it, bro. If you talk to everybody, you got a general kind of 6 movies that kind of circulate when you're talking about the holiday season, and it's interesting. So we're gonna talk about it next week. So definitely prepare for that. Bring your Christmas hats, and we're gonna get on to it. But tonight, man, we got a lot to talk about, bro. Let's kick it off, Kyle. Just to start with. What was the first game system that you had? What was the first one that you had that you remember? Whether it was a portable game system, whether it was an actual one that hooked up to the TV. What was the first one you remember getting?
Like growing up, we got a little bit of we had a little bit of everything. Like I had the original Nintendo. I had the I was a Sega kid for most of my life. So we would go between Game Boy and Game Gear, and then we had just about every Game Boy as it came out, right?
Okay.
So, and this was when Toys R Us was still the place to go.
That's right.
So we would trade in our games at Toys R Us, or I'm about to really date myself here, Funko Land. We would Yeah,
Before EV Games,
or
Football
EV
Land.
Games, or
Yep,
EV
before
Games before
GameStop.
GameStop took over everything. You know,
Yep.
so that what we would do is we would get brand new games, but we would rent games, of course. We would get like hand-me-down games. Like I remember one of my cousins came, we went to school together, and one Christmas he had a bag full of Sega games he wasn't playing anymore, and he just gave them to me.
Bro, listen, that's a jackpot right now. Yo, I would kill for that shit because you see, like, retro gaming is in full effect now, bro. Like,
Oh yeah,
you go on, you get in the ROMs, you're able to play it on your phone.
Yep.
Every game that ever existed, basically.
Yep.
But just remember when you were a kid, yo, there was a lot of games. Yo, we didn't know the prices of them. We didn't care about that when we were younger. So it's like you was just asking for them around this time right now, Christmas time. Oh, can I get the new one? And remember how frequent those games came out, because they had a game for everything. Every time a movie came out,
they had a game for everything. I remember, of course, asking my parents, but also I was the kid that would save every bit of money I had, right? Like birthday money, Christmas money, whatever. And it like freaking collecting bottles and taking them to the recycling center. I would save up because I didn't get an allowance. My parents tried one time, and then we were just like, you know what, forget it. I just collected bottles from that point on and saved my money. So if I wanted a game or if I wanted a video or something, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. I hustled or I asked, like, of course, asked nicely, but my parents were like, hey, look, you got the money, you got the money, let's go. You want to go to Walmart and get freaking Pokemon Yellow? Let's go. You know?
Yeah, man. I mean, I was thinking about it like when I was coming up with this topic, and I was just trying to remember the first game system that I remember we got. I know it was a Nintendo. I don't think I ever owned a Nintendo, but the first one we got was the Sega Genesis with the Sonic 2 in it.
Yep.
And I mean, it came with it. I remember opening that shit on Christmas Day. I remember opening it. I remember popping it in. We had got that. We had got Street Fighter 2.
Yeah.
And then we had got I forgot what else. It was a couple other games we got with it. When I tell you we was living on that damn game, bro. Sega, like you just said, I loved Sega. Yeah, it was such a good. And then my uncle was a big gamer. My uncle had a Sega, so he had a bunch of games. So I would go to his house. He's the one that kind of introduced me to a lot of games that I didn't really know too much about. And he'd go over, he'd be playing Sega games that I never saw before, and then I'd be interested in them. And then just the games that, like we said, like, they came out with a game for everything. Yep. So it's like,
everything.
Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, X-Men, you know what I'm saying? Everybody had a game. And that's what made, I feel like that's what made Sega and Super Nintendo, those systems, you can play this shit for hours, bro. You just had so many options. The games weren't like forever. It was boards, so you were able to beat the board and then you progress in the game.
Yeah.
Now, I was trying to think of the difference now. It's weird. It's like, you have these long open world games where you got 50 fucking side missions and 100 other, little puzzle piece missions, and
DLC comes out later.
You gotta pay for more shit.
You gotta pay for, yeah.
It's weird, man, because it's like, it makes me think like, everybody always is like, oh, back in the day, blah, blah, but I'm not even trying to be that way. I'm just trying to, like, honestly, like, I be trying to play games now, like no bullshit. On my PlayStation, when I grew up, I remember thinking to myself as a kid, I can't wait to get older. I'm just gonna buy all the games. I can't wait to spend all my money and buy all the games I want that my parents won't give for me or can't give for me. And then I got older, and you wanna know something? I ain't gonna lie, I did that shit. It was a point where a game would come out. I don't care. I didn't care if I'd had the money or not. I was like, man, fuck it. I'll make it up later. And I bought a game. Every game I wanted, I bought. You know how many games I got sitting in my library that I haven't even played?
Man, I did this.
Like 80 of them bitches, yo.
Like I did the same thing for a while when I had my first real paying job.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like, buying the system was one thing. I needed help buying the system because the system would be like $400 or $500, right? But then buying the games, I would I used to work at the store I used to work at. There was a GameStop right across the street, right? So during breaks, I would go to GameStop, and hang out with a couple people that work there. And one of the dudes, I think I remember his name. His name was Bernard, one of the general managers there, right? And he'd be like, Kyle, what's on reserve right now, such and such. Like, he tried to get those numbers up. He's like, okay,
Oh yeah.
Assassin's Creed is coming. Teen Titan, freaking Teen Titans is coming. This game and this game and this game. I'm like, I can't afford every game that you're trying to push on me, bro.
Yeah, for real.
But the stuff that I did want, like the stuff I really wanted, I would either reserve or stand in line. Right?
That's how it
stand in
was.
line for a couple midnight releases.
What was one that you remember that you were like, yo, listen, I gotta get this. I don't even care. I'll move into the store before I what was one you remember you really had to get?
That I oh my god, man, that's a loaded question. But what I really had to get it was probably Dragon Ball Z game. I'm a big I'm a big DBZ head. So when just about every other game that came out that was available here, the big the big ones, like me and my friends would have to get. And then one time I stood in line for Mortal Kombat. They screwed me on they screwed me on extra content. Right? GameStop is like GameStop in the mall versus GameStop outside of the mall was weird. If you reserved a game at the mall, right, and they did a midnight release, they didn't tell you, or at least they didn't tell me that you had to go to the store that was a few miles away from the mall, because the mall wasn't open. It wasn't open at that time.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, I didn't think of that.
So one day I'm trying to get. It was MK9 when they rebooted the franchise, right?
Yeah.
And they were, and they said if you got, and what they would do is they would do a promotional character depending on where you got the game. So if you got the game on Amazon, I think you got an old school reptile skin. Or if you ordered it at GameStop, you got a old school scorpion skin, classic scorpion skin. So I wanted that classic scorpion skin, right? And the thing was, they didn't tell me that I had to go to the other store, right? Next thing you know, my reserve was null and void, and I had to pay full price.
That shit is crazy, bro. I got out of that reserving stuff like early on, bro, because it's like you're saying right now. I remember when it like actually kind of mattered, I guess. Like it was a little while where it kind of mattered. And after a while, it was just like, because I worked at Target. So it was like I was working electronics at Target. I did that shit for like 4 years. So whenever something was coming out, I would know about it, or it would be right there. I get a discount, so I just buy that shit right there. Yeah. So it's like it didn't matter to me. But when I started like seeing people pick up the little cards to reserve it, I'm like, yo, literally, we're gonna have this shit. Like, there's no point in you spending this little $5 right now. Like, we're gonna have it. We don't put anything to the side. Like, so it's like you're pretty much, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. It's not like we have a list afterwards. There was none of that. It was just you were just buying something that really didn't really matter. And like you said, sometimes they had like, little specials. All you get, his green boots with it or some shit. Yeah. But it just never was like anything, I don't know, suffice. And I was just like, whatever. But yeah, man, I remember that Sega Genesis, and that not long after that, we had got a Super Nintendo, and we used to rock with Sega. We'd be back and forth, Sega and Super Nintendo. And then after that, we got that fucking PlayStation, and it was a wrap.
Never owned a Super Nintendo. Like never owned a Super Nintendo. I currently own a Super Nintendo Mini.
You got it?
Yeah. I had to get that because I never got to own one as a kid. I played them at my cousin's places or my uncle's place. You know what I'm saying? And but I never got one. We did get a PlayStation and a PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
Right. And I had and we also had a Dreamcast. So
I never had a Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast
or Xbox.
The Dreamcast to me is underrated. Like is underrated.
I've heard
it was very underrated. Now I know why it didn't last. Certain decisions were made. It was just too. Some things were ahead of its time, but other things were just too late. So plus it was really easy to pirate. I had a cousin who worked at the flea market, right? So he had every pirated version of the game because those things were easy to unlock and pirate. And that was part of the reason why it didn't last. Because you just kept on bootlegging the games. So,
I would have loved to know him.
and they worked. We were playing one game online, right? Through through the freaking modem that they had. They were the first that I remember that had online gameplay, you know.
Oh, damn.
But you had to do it. You had to do it through a freaking cable modem.
That's crazy, yo. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know nothing about that back in the day. Dreamcast, I remember Dreamcast. The one thing that I remember from being a kid that we were excited about was like, wait a minute, they have a little screen on a controller, and you could see stuff on the controller.
Oh,
like, holy shit! Like that was like one of the main sells that I remember everybody talking about.
That was different.
My cousin had one, and we saw him play a bunch. And I think we had one at like the after school program that we were at, where people were playing with it. But that's about as far as it got. It kind of came and went, like you said. It came and went really fast. Like Dreamcast was in and out, man.
It really did.
It was ahead of its time.
It honestly was. It didn't have the game catalog that a lot of other systems did, but the games that were good, like for example, like everybody loves Crazy Taxi, right? Everybody loved Crazy Taxi. I was
Ready
a big
to Rumble.
Sonic. Exactly. I was a big Sonic fan. It did have some gems. I even liked bass fishing.
I remember that too. You know what's crazy? Like, remember, like, Dreamcast was the one that kind of started that whole 2K, like the basketball and stuff like that.
Right. I had a couple of those.
Yeah, that came all from there. And then, because back in the day, you had PlayStation had like, NBA Live, and of course you had Madden, but they also had, remember, Game Day, NFL Game Day they had, for the football, and then Madden took over NCAA. So there used to be a lot of shootout. I remember I had shootout in 98 for PlayStation. Bro, there used to be a lot of options. Now everything is just so like, kind of strictly narrated. Like you can get just Call of Duty instead of like Battlefield and this and that. Like you had a whole bunch of different options that you could select from. But yeah, it's like kind of genres kind of took over and monopolized it a little bit.
Yeah.
But well, yeah, man, that's awesome. So your first one was a Nintendo. Mine was a Sega.
The first I remember we had a Nintendo, and then we got a Sega, and I mostly just played the Sega. You know what I mean?
Was shit, man.
And
Sega
I had so many like I said, my cousin gave me games. We traded some games in. It was like we always had some sort of like game to play, and that's when I discovered. That's when I discovered what games my parents liked, because they weren't they weren't big into them, but they grew up during the 80s when arcades were still huge, right?
Bro.
So they were around before the game crash. So my mom, she loved Pac-Man, right? She loved Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Centipede. And then later on, I found out because they rebooted this one, Frogger. Right.
Listen, bro. But PlayStation in '96, I remember that shit.
Exactly. Her and my sister are really competitive when it comes to like board games and game nights and stuff like that. So imagine, if you will, like them on a Friday night. It's a two-player game, split screen style, and they're just trying to beat each other's high score.
Wow. Yeah.
And then Tetris was another game that me, my sister, and my mom played, just trying to beat each other's high score. Right? Did you ever
go to arcades and stuff like that? Like, where you?
There was a few. There was like one or two in my area. There was a family arcade, and then we had Chuck E. Cheese. Right?
Yeah.
So and Chuck E. Cheese. Let me tell you something. Playing that 4-person X-Men arcade game will probably.
Bro, listen, you stealing my shit, yo. I'm telling you right now, man. That I got it written down, bro. Literally right now. I wanted to talk about, like, how awesome arcades used to be. I'm from Jersey, so we used to go to the Jersey Shore every summer. So it was like literally arcades. That was just our shit, bro. And it, like you said, it was before our time a little bit because we did grow up with video games like in our house. We didn't even have to leave. But it was nothing like going to the movie theaters or going roller skating and then having the arcade center before you go. You put your quarters and shit in or whatever, your tokens. And that X-Men fucking 4-player. Remember the really big one? You had to step on the step stool to play it. I used to play Colossus.
That was me. I was short. So,
bro, yo, I love that damn game, man. I can't. You know what sucks? I can't find it anywhere. Like I've tried to look for the ROMs. I've tried to look for so many places. I can't find that version of X-Men. It's crazy.
I think at some point they did release it on like a virtual arcade or something, and I don't recall. But you know those like 1-up arcade machines they got now?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. They have it for that.
They did.
They have it for that. Yeah. Yeah.
If I
just cost like $500 though, man.
But if look, if I had the space, it would be that. It would be Ninja Turtles, and it would be freaking Mortal Kombat. Okay.
Yes. Which Ninja Turtles?
Turtles in Time.
Turtles in Time. That's right. That's right.
You know why? Because I never got to play it.
Oh, really? You never? Nah, bro. I played that shit. I played it, beat it. Yeah, 1,000 times over.
Tell me why the local skating rink had the game, right? They had the game, but it was always out of order. So basically, it was it was like decoration every time I would go there.
Yeah, that sucks, bro. We used to play my shit at the arcade, like you said. X-Men, the X-Men cabinet, it never was ever at any arcade that I went to. That X-Men cabinet was always, every time I played that one, was always at a movie theater we used to go to. So whenever we went to this movie theater, I always would play that before the movie started. I'd be standing out there, getting quarters from my mother and them, and just literally just playing that shit until we went to the movies. But when I went to like Seaside, I used to jump on. My favorite arcade games was The Simpsons. I used to love The Simpsons arcade game. I used to love House of the Dead. House of the Dead was my shit to this day. House of the Dead, and what was the other one I had? I wrote them down because I don't want to forget them. X-Men was the other one. Simpsons, House of the Dead, and X-Men. Those three right there, I would always find. There was a couple other ones that I would rock with or whatever, but those were the ones I had to play, bro. Every time I went.
I got to play the Simpsons game. I remember I don't know if it was a church trip or if I was with my family, but I remember I was with my grandmother. We were at a hotel, and they had it in the lobby, and like they had the little mini arcade, and they had the Simpsons game like right there, right? I was like,
man,
wait, what? The Simpsons had a game in freaking Marge with a giant vacuum cleaner, and
Bart with the slingshot. That was rocking, man.
I'm like, what is this? And then I did not see it again. I didn't see it again until they re-released it digitally. I think it was like on Xbox Live or something. And that was the last time. I saw it. It was, oh man! But that's a classic.
Good times, man. It was really good times. I mean, stuff like that. It was just more about like being out. Of course, you can play games in your house, and the games you play in your house are amazing. But it was being out. But speaking of movies and stuff like that, we're definitely going to jump back into the games. But I definitely wanted to jump into. We got to do things the right way over here. It's the entertainment show. We got a couple of things we got to do, and one of them is.
The watch list.
That's right. On the watch list today, we do have a couple movies that are coming out in December. Now, for me, I've always kind of, had a family, so this is no hate against anybody. There's a lot of different people out there. People listen, people listen independence, people just alone, people just do their own shit, whatever. But I never understood, going to the movie theaters in December. I guess some people don't celebrate Christmas and different stuff like that. So it's like, there are movies. There's movies out there that are coming out in December. So we're going to take a quick dive into the ones that are pretty popular this year, starting with this one. And Kraven the Hunter.
I'm crossing my fingers for this one.
Kyle, you and just about, I think, everybody on the planet, bro.
I am crossing my fingers for this one. They have been trying to get this one off the ground for years.
It's been a while. Long time.
I'm gonna be honest. That first trailer hit though. Like for me, that first trailer hit.
This my man, Aaron Taylor John. Yo, I am a fucking fan, bro. I've been a fan of him for a while. One thing I've been looking for, and I think this is actually going to be an episode. 'Cause it's a really good conversation.
Yeah.
Is the new age of actors and stuff like that, and actresses that in the 90s, bro, you had the guys that you always looked for. You had your Arnold Schwarzeneggers. You had the action guys, Bruce Willis's, and the dudes that was out, Denzel Washington and Jamie Foxx, even what I'm saying. Like these guys were making awesome movies, and you knew if you saw them in a movie, you're like, oh, that's just gonna be good. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Now it's like it's a little more spread out. You do got your guys that you got The Rock, you got Chris Evans and all the superhero guys, but when you see like my man Aaron Taylor Johnson, like this guy, he started with Kick-Ass. Remember, he was a little skinny dude in Kick-Ass. Then he moved up. You saw him in Godzilla. You saw him in a whole bunch of movies. He's made a good name for himself. He's a good actor. He's got the look, and he could play. Like I can't wait to see him. I want some new shit, bro. Like some new, like kind of like John Wick. Like what I'm saying, like the action character. Liam Neeson had like 50 of them on a train, on a boat, on a plane. Liam Neeson has done every action role that fucking is possible, right? But like you said, I haven't been a fan of making these, especially villain standalone movies. It's really weird, with them not having like a protagonist and shit like that to combat. But to see Kraven, if you played the newest Spider-Man, like he's an awesome character. But they have been really stop and go, kind of like Blade, similar to Blade and all the controversy that was around that, where they kind of just recently just scrapped it. But people are saying that they think that this is going to be really good. So
I mean, it could be. The thing is, like, and I think we get caught up. I do this all the time. We get caught up in other people's opinions on things and how box office numbers look. If you like it, then you like it,
Yeah,
but if you like it, then you like it. But there are some movies from like the get-go are gonna look like trash, and other things that just surprise you. Like I knew Man of Web was gonna be trash.
Kyle, you want to know something real quick? I gotta jump in on that one.
Yep.
I've heard about Madam Web. People were trashing the shit out of Madam Web. I saw it on Netflix. I was just doing some work and I just threw it on Netflix on my iPad one day.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It wasn't as bad as people
There was things you found that you enjoyed.
It was. I think it was just more of just an enjoyable movie. Like it was just kind of okay. You know what I mean? Like if you're looking for like a super action flick, nah. But if you're looking for just a movie that had dialogue, it had a lot of stuff, but it didn't have any. It just didn't have enough action. Like you were looking for them to really be, especially superhero movie. You want to see fighting, you want to see stuff going on. Right. And it was more like, traveling and story more than it was action and, being entertained in that way.
Oh yeah.
Madam Web wasn't all that bad. I don't know. It just wasn't all that bad to me.
Like I know that, like I enjoyed the first Venom, right?
Yeah.
I enjoyed the first Venom. I went to see it with my brothers, and one of my brothers, shouts out to him, he's a huge Venom fan. Right? Yeah. So he appreciated, even though he knew they weren't gonna adapt a specific story or any specific thing, he appreciated the visuals and seeing Tom Hardy do his thing.
Yeah. He was good.
He was good in He was good in that, and I had no interest in seeing the other two. Maybe one day I'll watch them. You
ain't missing shit. You ain't missing a damn thing, bro. I didn't even watch the third one, but the second one, I fell asleep on that shit.
You fell asleep?
I was done, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm at the age where it's like, listen, I'm watching something. If I'm watching that shit for so long that I'm just like, oh man, I know something's gonna happen eventually. Nah, I'm done. I'm checking out.
Man, wow. That's
like you said, the first one entertained, but I was just like, what the fuck ever, man. It just wasn't enough to keep me invested. And it goes back to, like I said, my theory is like they're making all these standalone villain movies, and it's just like, the villain's an interesting character, but to do a whole movie where I'm watching all the Joker but no Batman, get the fuck out of here.
And like
that's a waste of time, I think. Like
the
all
Joker
Venom but no
movie,
Spider-Man? Nah, come on.
like the Joker movie. Yes, I was upset about the whole Venom no Spider-Man thing.
Yeah, it's like,
And it just felt like all they want to do is keep the license because
Really?
they didn't get a chance to do their Sinister Six movie after Amazing Spider-Man 2 bomb.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was really bad too. That was another really bad,
You know,
boring ass movie.
so to me it was like you can't just start him like that. Like I know he eventually became his own, his own character that really but he's always going to be connected to a lot of people to Spider-Man. But I also have to keep this in mind. They're making it for a general audience.
Well, that might be a mistake though. I think that that's why I like when people who are interested in the story, people who are interested in the comics, and this is just me saying it, you know what I'm saying? Like if I could prefer, it makes a difference because when people have interest and they're invested, it makes them want to, make something that they know is going to attract attention to the people who are of the same or share interests as well. When something's good, it doesn't matter. Like it's going to captivate motherfuckers. Like, even if you don't know the story of Batman, you see a movie coming out and you got this guy jumping around in a suit and cape, and then it's like the guy he cared about it, so he's not spending fucking the first 48 minutes telling a whole long story with no involvement of Batman. Nah, he just jumped right into it. Like, you'll learn this motherfucker as you go. Read about him later.
Yeah.
You gonna watch this action right now. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, bro.
It just felt like the Joker movie. The Joker movie to me, while I enjoyed aspects of it because it's talked a lot about how delicate the psyche is and how we really have to pay attention to people. Like it talked about neurodivergency and learning who you are. But I felt like it didn't have to be a Joker movie. You could pretty much come up with a whole other original character and have him go through that same ordeal, and it would have had the same effect.
You absolutely. I feel the same way. You want to know something? I'm about to stir the pot a little bit, but why not? You know what I'm saying? I feel the same exact way you just said, Kyle, and I feel that way about all this. I'm not gonna lie. It's no hate, but I all these people who want to remake these movies and make Superman black and make the Hulk Chinese or Asian, whatever. Like I feel like there's a lot of dialogue that's getting involved to try to, I guess, meet the needs of a community. But like you just said, why the fuck you can't just make a new character? Like, why does it have to be? I don't know, man. It's just not interesting to me.
Like the thing is, the two that you just mentioned, they already exist.
Yeah, right? I know. That's why I said it.
So it's like, they like a Superman that is black in another dimension. He is, and the Chinese Hulk. Yeah, he enjoys being the Hulk. So and those characters have never been on screen before. So part of it sounds like pandering, but at the same time, it's like, okay, we want to do something. We want to do something different because we already spent 10 years with with these versions of the characters. You know what I'm saying? So you got to have something different to keep it going.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand that. Like, the introduction of Miles Morales, in Spider-Man is incredible. You know what I'm saying? It was a great depiction, but I just feel like it's more for, instead of like introducing a new character or explaining the difference. You feel me? They'll just put out a Superman movie and he'll just be fucking black and you won't know why. Bruce Wayne will be Idris Elba. Explain why the fuck it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not racist, but I'm saying, like, I am looking at it like, wait a minute, that's Bruce Wayne. Like, he's not black. Like, it's not the character I'm used to. Like, I'm not saying nobody can do it.
Like, say, if you were to call him like someone outside of Bruce Wayne and he happened to, like, say, get the suit from him, because there is a black member of the Bat family. His name is Batwing, right? So
Batwing. Oh shit!
Batwing.
You met me with that one.
So like Batwing is, at least from like the way I got introduced to him. I watched one of the animated films, right? He is Lucius Fox's, you know what I'm saying? He's Lucius Fox's son, right?
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes
And
sense.
Lucius Fox, he had made a futuristic bat suit, not like Batman Beyond, but looked like a prototype of the Batman Beyond suit. And his son came back from freaking Afghanistan, and he wanted to make a difference while he's home. So he decided to put the suit on, don the suit, and he became a member of the Bat family. So
that's
like,
pretty dope. I never knew that before.
That's dope. But here's the problem with, and this is just my, this is just my opinion. If when it comes to superhero stuff, if it's something that someone doesn't already know or is familiar or is as familiar with, then it's harder for them to get invested, because they are expecting something, they're expecting something else. Like, for those who keep saying, "Oh, why don't you create your own thing?" We do. Y'all don't watch. That's the and that
good
is
point.
That's the thing. It's not that we don't have original Black or Latino or whatever characters from other cultures. It's just that certain people, the general audience, don't even have to be Black, white, whatever. They're used to seeing people that don't look like that, so they're not as invested. And unfortunately, it happens all the time. Case in point, there was a comic book company by the name of Black Sands, right? What they wanted to do was, they have a whole story of warriors in Egypt, right? They actually get a meeting with Netflix. Netflix said, "Hey, we like it. We're cool. We'll do this. We'll work with you. But here's the thing: can you make the characters a little lighter?"
Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap! No, I never heard of that. That's awesome.
The thing is, the darker you are in certain things, people get scared. Colorism exists in just about every other culture, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you are dark, you're looked at, or if you're too light, it's always something.
Yeah, listen, you're absolutely right, bro. You're schooling the shit out of us right now. Yeah,
So
I mean, I never really thought of that. Like, yeah, that's a good ass point, man. It is one of the things where it's just like, like you said, there's a lot of depictions and there's a lot of other stories that are told, especially in comics, man. There's so many different branches that you can, drift the story. But yeah, the introduction to it to the general public, it doesn't necessarily fly over too well.
Yeah, like
you hear guys like John Leguizamo. He says it. He's definitely a big advocate for, like, Hispanic superheroes and Hispanic roles in general. Because you want more of a depiction than just like the average cholo and shit like that or whatever. So it's
exactly, you want more than just stereotype. Like, we all exist. Shoot, in America, we got everything, right? So why don't you want to see more of that? And it's not about having to. It's not about DEI or affirmative action. It's about just doing it because they're people. They know how to act, or they're gonna inspire someone. Don't just do it just because you feel like you have to. That's the problem. We're not props.
Very true, bro. Yeah, don't be token off of South Park. Token black.
Yo, or don't be like, okay, or like Franklin from Charlie Brown.
Oh, right? Shit, Franklin, yeah. Franklin, that's even further back.
Franklin exists because after freaking MLK got shot, a young teacher looked at that and was like, we got to speak to somebody with some influence. She reached out to Charles Schultz and asked if he could make a black character.
Yeah, laughing.
And Charles Schultz did his thing. But somebody pointed out, I think it was pointed out on the Daily Show a couple years ago, on the 50th anniversary of Franklin, was when they brought Franklin to TV, right? They just made him the black kid, right? Like, everybody else is doing the hokey pokey and he's giving you high fives. Everybody else is playing baseball. He's rapping and breakdancing. Now
Yes.
they have more of a balance with Franklin. Like they're actually giving him stuff to do. They even gave him his own special to reintroduce him to people. And
Oh shit.
honestly, it was dope. It was dope. Big ups to everybody involved in that. He is no longer the lonely kid at the Thanksgiving table anymore. So that's
Yo, Kyle going in tonight. He got a whole bunch of shit. We sparked the fucking plug here.
yeah, right.
Yo, listen, that was a good conversation. I wasn't expecting to have tonight, honestly. But yeah, I mean, definitely it needs to be said. Maybe we'll have maybe we'll talk about more things like that as well. Because it is, when that damn Little Mermaid came out and Halle Bailey was, man, motherfuckers losing their minds, bro.
Please.
She killed that scene though. I'm not a fan of her. I'm a fan of her. She's an incredible singer, but I'm not a fan of her.
Like,
I don't like their
how
they
people were like, oh my god. What I hated about that, just real quick, is people were just like what's going on with How to Train Your Dragon, right? People are
that shit looks dope. I'm not even into that shit. It looks dope.
How to Train Your Dragon? Dope. The live action version has a person of color playing Astrid. People were all up in arms, just like the whole Little Mermaid thing. It's like, and the real Astrid doesn't look like this. The real Astrid doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's true. They're not fucking real, y'all.
That doesn't exist. Not to mention, she was being played by America Ferrera, who is a Latina. So
gorgeous. Ugly Betty is far from that.
Exactly. So I don't know what people were, but like I said, the minute you change up something, people are willing to say, "Oh, it's a DEI, or it's affirmative action, or it's this, or it's that." Look, they're not taking away from anything. The original version still exists.
Dead ass. All right, guys, we're gonna jump into a couple more movies, and we're gonna get back into games. So we actually got a bunch of games we want to talk about as well. But looks like we also have there's a new one here that I think some people will find interest in it, but it's gonna be another section of the Lion King. Mufasa's coming out. We're gonna learn about Simba's dad and Scar in this one. Yep. And how you feel, Kyle? Are you interested in watching? I'm a huge Lion King fan.
I'm interested. I'm interested, but only because I feel like this should have been what they came out with before.
Yeah, the first.
Yeah, that one that they came out with in 2019 that basically just did shot for shot the same movie. No.
Yeah.
No.
I wasn't even feeling that. That's
that's
what
unfortunate. You would like go just hit him with a nostalgia bomb and but this, like, I don't know what to expect with this. You've already changed the lore of Scar and Mufasa in this, and it's a whole other universe. It's not the same. Like, I'm like, look, this could have been the movie you came out with in 2019.
Yeah, and then went back. And you want to know something? I do like. I do really, really like the live action versions of these movies, especially like the cartoon where it's the animals and stuff. Like the Jungle Book was fucking phenomenal.
The Jungle Book.
Remember that?
The Jungle Book. They did some different things with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I love the fact that it was mostly one character, a soundstage, and a bunch of CGI. But that shows how good of an actor that kid was.
That kid was good.
And then. I'm sorry, but you got Scarlett Johansson as a snake. You got Scarlett Johansson as Kaa, just singing. Hello.
I didn't remember that.
I didn't pay attention to that part. That hypnotized them, right? And then they gave her a song at the end of the movie that they just rolled in the credits. I'm like, she played that a little too well. I'm sorry, but it was just like one or two scenes. That was it. But they tried to do something different from what they did in the original original Jungle Book. Okay, it wasn't just a shot for shot, so that's why I respect it more than the other ones.
The greatest, if you want to be technical, the greatest remake that I've seen so far, almost shit. I mean, maybe one of the greatest remakes I've ever seen. Was the fucking 2019, I think it was 19 or 18 Aladdin. That Aladdin with Will Smith. Listen, that shit was phenomenal, bro.
I will give it props.
That shit was phenomenal.
Was not my favorite, but I'll give it its props.
I love that. I love that shit, bro. This Mufasa movie, take it or leave it. I ain't gonna see it. My kids ain't interested in it really. I mean, I guess it'll be a good story. I know the look looks good, but I wish they would. I wish there was a way they can kind of, just touch into a little bit more of the actual look from the cartoon, like whether it be Scar being a little more red or just at least a little bit more. Because right now they're so basic.
Exactly, the realism takes away from it. Like when you go back and watch the animated stuff, I mean, this is hyper realistic animation. Let's not split hairs. This is not live action. You know what I'm saying? If this was live action, every single one of these people would be mauled. But if this was real live action, if these were real lions, you better make sure those lions don't have their teeth or their claws, because you are not. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about the animation versus the CG is you see the expressions in their faces. They act sillier. They can dance along with the music. They can flow they can flow in and out of scenes like a cartoon. They're not bound by logic. Whereas when you watch these hyper realistic versions, they're bound by logic. So a lion is not going to act the same way Scar and Mufasa did in the classic one.
Yeah, dancing and shaking their ass and and playing with fucking hyenas or whatever.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, it looks like it is going to be what it is. If you got kids, it's something that you can go and watch. But if you're going to go watch something, this is the only thing I can really hold by, because every single one of them have been phenomenal, and I'm pretty sure this one's going to be phenomenal too. And that's going to be Sonic 3. Sonic 3 is going to be Sonic 3 is definitely my favorite. It's turned into my favorite video game adaptation of a movie of all time.
It surprised me.
All two of them. Yep, I was shocked too. They went and they listened to the people. They was like, "Yo, listen, this shit is good." Oh, look who it is! What up, Lay? Yeah, the CGI really kills it for me. Listen, yeah, you heard hey, Lay, you heard Kyle going off over here. Lay, we love you, Lay. We miss you, Lay.
I hear you.
Yeah. But Sonic 3, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fucking phenomenal, bro. Like, this is gonna be one of the movies. Every single one has been good. It looks like he's kind of teaming up with Dr. Robotnik a little bit to go off against Shadow.
Go up against Shadow. Oh man, look, people have been waiting for Shadow. Yeah, Shadow got a fan base like no other.
So. Really, Shadow scared the shit out of my daughter when she was young, man.
For real?
She was scared. Yeah, she was really scared. She saw the creepypasta version of it. What? And she was scared from then on. She's still to this day.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
It's crazy. Oh man. Sonic looked like it's gonna be real good. And then after Sonic, this is interesting. I didn't really know, but this comes out like right on Christmas. Nosferatu, they coming out. You got Bill Skarsgård, you got Lily Depp, and this looks interesting, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I never saw the original Nosferatu.
I didn't either, but apparently you can find it. Like the original silent film, you can find it out there. But I did not know this was coming.
Yeah, this is actually on Christmas. I mean, I like creepy shit. So if this is creepy, the only thing with movies like this is, like I was saying before, they'll have the whole movie, especially with like the older age movies where they're in castles and shit.
Yep.
Usually it lasts for a long time. It's a lot of boring ass old timey scenes until you get to this one guy that you're looking at, or I don't even know the story of Nosferatu, but I'm just saying, like, everybody's gonna be watching it to see him. So I mean, we'll see. My boy Aaron Taylor Johnson's in this too. So I mean, you guys got some options to go to the movies and watch on Christmas.
Interesting release time though. I feel like Halloween was just last week. You could have.
I tell you. Yep. On Christmas Day, you're gonna be watching some creepy shit. You're gonna be creeped up out. But let me see what Lay's saying. Off the strength of Bill and It, I'm gonna watch him because he was good as Penny. Yeah, he really was. If you want to see you want to know something he wasn't good in though, and we're not gonna talk about it. But don't watch The Crow. The Crow movie. That was one of the worst movies of 2024.
Was it that bad?
That shit was beyond that bad, bro. I can't even lie, and I'm not even hating on it. This guy was not the Crow the whole movie. Like no exaggeration.
Dang.
I mean, if you're a fan of the Crow, that's even more of a reason not to watch this shit. It was really bad, bro. Me and my brother went live while we were watching it on Facebook, and we were just tearing that shit apart because it was just so bad, bro. I'm afraid of the Crow. Oh, you're afraid of the Crow? It scarred you when you were young? Some of the movies do it to you, man, especially when you younger. Take you out.
For me, it was Killer Clowns and Chucky.
Killer Clowns?
I had no business watching Killer Clowns from outer space at 4 years old.
I jacked you up. Listen,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah. I was afraid of clowns. I was like 13.
Bro, listen, there's a movie called Clown House. It's a movie called Clown House, one of my mother's favorite movies. And oh man, I forgot his name. It's it's a group of brothers and they're in a thing, and these crazy guys escape from a damn crazy house, and they go ahead and they go take over, and they ransack some clowns, and they dress up as the clowns, and then they just go, and people don't know, they think it's a regular. But when I tell you right now, if you have a fear of clowns, that movie will scare the shit out of you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm good.
I'll do it. Hell, I was scared with Sting.
If I wanted to watch clowns going crazy, I just watch some Juggalo videos. I'm good.
Woo, Juggalo.
I just watch
some clown
posse. That's all I would.
Yeah. Hey, wow. I remember they was being WWE too. But yeah, man. Instead of being scared, we were talking about video games, and guys, we're gonna, it's already, we've been kind of, chopping it up or whatever, but we did start this with some video games. I want to talk about a couple games, of course, that we got coming. Yep. That I'm very super happy about. Now, Kyle, I don't know about you. We're gonna go into what you like as well. But for me, I'm always been a horror survival game player. Of course, games like Resident Evil, Dead Space, you know what I'm saying? And after that, like I'm always looking at, now that we have these remakes to where I was playing Resident Evil when I was 1996, 1997. Like this is when I was back in elementary school even. So it's like growing up playing these, and then for them to start remaking these games, and the remakes are better, if not better than the damn originals, which is crazy, is unheard of, especially for Resident Evil. So when I heard that they're introducing Resident Evil 9, which is called, I think it's called Apocalypse. Yeah. I'm super excited for it, yo. Do you are you a Resident Evil fan?
I'm a very casual fan. I'm a very casual fan because because I played a little bit of it back in '96, and then then the rest of the time I just watched my friends and my family go through it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, horror is not my thing, but at the same time, they have gotten better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like say what you want about the earlier ones, but and the voice acting and everything else, right? But they have gotten better. Don't ask me to watch those movies though.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel you. Especially if you're not a fan of like horror and stuff like that, and then you go watch like a Resident Evil game, you can forget about it. Like it's gonna scare the shit out of you. Or like a Silent Hill, bro. Listen, you ain't going to sleep that night. That shit is wild, yeah.
One of my boys put me on to Silent Hill, at least the story, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Number one though, that's creative. I gotta give you credit. That is creative. I will not be playing it, but I gotta give credit where credit's due.
Lay, The Village, Resident Evil, The Village was phenomenal, man. Especially they introduced the Lycans, and you were able to play as Chris. Like I've been rocking with Resident Evil since day one. So it's like for this one, I heard they were coming back, and they've had the story since 7. They had Ethan and Mia and then his daughter and stuff like that. But if you played like 8, like the story kind of is concluded. So I'm hoping that they're going back. What I'm hearing, what the rumors are, is Leon and Jill are going to be the ones that you're playing with in this new one, which I am super excited for. Jill's my favorite character all the way through. So, in Nemesis, I definitely was super into it. But we'll see in the DLC where you go back as his daughter. Yeah, Rose. I didn't play that yet. I didn't play it. I beat Village, which is amazing. Resident Evil 8 was incredible, man. Great game. But yeah, I played as I didn't play the DLC. I saw it was creepy as hell though, man. My son just beat it. My son was over there creeped out on it and everything like that. So, but incredible. But you got you have Kyle, what's the game that you know is coming out that you looking forward to, bro? That you like, you know, if it was Christmas, you like, man, Mom, I need this in my life.
You know what? My thing is like I'm slowly getting myself back into gaming because I was out of it for a while. Right? It was getting too much of expense if I have it. You know what I'm saying? And
it is.
You know, it got way too expensive. But now I've been wanting to get back into art. You know, wanting to get back into RPGs, and now I'm like, okay, at some point I got to either get myself a Switch or a Steam Deck because there's so many indie games coming out. I'm like, look, AAA games are fine, AAA games fine, but there's so much, there's so much creativity in the indie space, and I'm like, yo, and some of them are going back, like some of them like go back to like classic platforming, and the animation is just like it's really getting to me, bro. But some stuff I'm looking forward to is either already out or getting like stuff that's like DLC for it, like the turtle games,
Oh man, and so good, bro.
The classic arcade looking games. I'm like, man, my nephew, shout out to Nico. He's a huge. Him and his brothers are huge. Actually, that entire family, they're huge gamers.
Yeah,
right. Like they will compete in Smash Brothers. They will compete in freaking like Mario Kart. They will compete in like something like a Dragon Ball Z. Well, at least his dad will. But but one day he had me playing Cuphead with him, and also he had me playing Turtles with him. You know what I'm saying? And
Shredder's Revenge.
Yeah,
that shit is
and
my
nephew's competitive. So like my nephew's competitive, so he'll have like the gamer attitude. He'll call you a noob and stuff to your face. He knows that. He knows
make you want to beat the hell out of him in the game.
It's like but here's the thing though. He knows that I'm rusty. He plays regularly. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to teach me stuff, and I appreciate it. I really do, because these games to me look dope. The creativity and the time that they take to come out with these things, and they're like a small team. Respect,
bro. You know what Shredder's Revenge showed me, like, because like we were saying earlier, like we play Turtles in Time and stuff like that. Shredder's Revenge, the simplicity of it still looks good. It looks like an old school beat 'em up. That's what it is.
Yep.
But the fact of how much detail and dialogue that they put into the game, the motion of the turtles, the environment, the music, the atmosphere, like everything is beautiful in that fucking game. And it shows you, like I said a long time ago, they make these, especially like wrestling games. Like, you make these wrestling games and you put a lot of focus on, like, the environment and the graphics and how they look and all this other stuff. Yo, to be honest with you, if I had a damn WWE game that had like 300 wrestlers in it and it was just kind of pixelated, just kind of like how the Shredder's Revenge looks, and you can play as your guy and you had basic moves to a degree, but you had the finishers, bro, listen, I play that shit every day, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't always have to be like awesome bells and whistles. It's all about like the funness of a game, and that's kind of what, like you were saying, I game, right? But a lot of times, like I'm doing the beeline, I got kids, I got this going on, raising the house. When I do have time, I'm getting on the game. Like I was even going to get on there for a little while. Me and Tiff play Fortnite all the time, and it's just like we get tired, bro. I'll be falling asleep. I can't get in. I've been trying to play Dead Island 2 that I just got for free on the PlayStation Network. I started that shit. I haven't picked it back up in like 2 months.
Man, I think I forgot what I was playing, one of the Mana games, because like I said, I'm trying to get back into RPGs. Like I watched way too much anime, so it's making me wanting to get back into gaming and RPGs again. You know what I'm saying? And one day my girlfriend comes over. she's a big Donkey Kong fan. Shout out to her, right?
Yeah.
So I turned on the NES Mini, and she went to town on some Donkey Kong Country. And because she's played it so many times, she knows every secret, like every secret passageway, every secret banana, all that stuff. I'm just watching her dominate this game, and I'm like, yes, that is her. That's it. That's my lady right there.
Yeah, it's fun, especially when you've been playing that shit for so long. But
Right.
yo, check it out. We're gonna we got caught up in some really good conversation, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We ain't gonna go too much longer. We can start to hit our point here, but definitely want to jump in. We got some other ones that we're gonna talk about. I'm probably gonna bring them up another time because it's definitely always video game shit to talk about. We got Grand Theft Auto coming out. You have the new Batman. We're gonna talk about Batman Shadows, of the VR game, which is totally interactive. Which might make me finally get a damn VR, bro, because I haven't messed with it yet. But I love Batman, bro. So
the Batman game, the Arkham games, the Arkham games are just phenomenal. Like the ones that I had played before I basically fell off. Like the Arkham games, the detail in those and the history around it and and everything, and the voice acting, that is that to me is that's love. That's a love letter to the franchise.
The Arkham games have been so good. And when I saw this one was coming out, I was just like, oh, another one. Like, what I'm saying? Because the last one, the Arkham Knight, they kind of closed it.
Yep.
So it kind of looked like they weren't going to make any more. Than I saw this, and then I saw it was VR. So I was like, okay, so this is going to be something different. But superhero games are my shit. But yo, speaking of games and ones that we like, we are going to jump into our last segment of the night, guys, before we wrap up here. And y'all know, if y'all been watching it, that is our top five. All right, we're gonna run through the top five. We're gonna try not to do it too long, but it's all gonna be games based off of movies. So that's the ones where you see a movie and then all of a sudden next month later they have a game out for it. Cal, what's your first number 5? What's your first one that you got that you love? A movie made from a game, or a game made from a movie.
It did take a minute, but I chose for my number 5 Aladdin. The Aladdin game. Now I had Sega, so I got it. So I got it for Sega, and it was really fun. It was just really fun. The music for that time was pretty crisp. You know what I'm saying?
It was,
And even though I never beat the game, this is when I found out. This is how I found out they did like adaptations for the same game, but depending on what system you got, it was basically, it played completely different. So I watched my cousin dominate it on Super Nintendo. Like he played it and beat it in like less than an hour, right? But it was still, but either way, on Sega and on Super Nintendo, it's so fun. And while I was talking to my friends and my girlfriend about this, Disney decided to drop a trailer because they brought back those games for you to download. So they gave you the Lion King. They gave you the Sega version of Aladdin. They gave you Jungle Book. I forgot that even had a game.
Yeah. I didn't play the Jungle Book one. I played Lion King. I mean, just to be honest, like, definitely, you said Aladdin was your number 5. I ain't gonna even lie. I kind of got to just jump to it. Aladdin was my number 1. Like, that game is a game that I play to this day. Like you said, I didn't beat it when I was younger. And I think that was like why when we got older and then I started finding ROMs and shit like that or whatever, I was like, okay, wait a minute. I'm about to play this. And I finally beat Aladdin. Like, not even that long ago, honestly. It was a couple games that I kind of just started running through. And Aladdin was my number 1. And, Lion King was my number 5. So, those two games were, when you think about, games based off of movies, like we were talking earlier, back in the day, bro, you had Sega and Nintendo for real everywhere. Home Alone, Dick Tracy, ET and Atari. You feel me? Like, one of the worst games of all time. Like,
the landfill exists.
Yeah, man. But yeah. You saw that when they was talking about they've
The
had to throw them
landfill,
all in
yeah.
the damn landfill.
Yeah, it wasn't as
Bro.
many as they said. It was a little exaggerated, but it did exist.
Yeah,
You know.
that's crazy, bro. But
Mhm.
well, okay, so we got number 5 out the way. All right, what about number 4? What's number 4?
Space Jam.
Space Jam. Oh man, I forgot
Space
about
Jam.
that one. That was
Space Jam.
good.
It was a very like they they made it Looney Tunes basketball, just like
Yeah.
just like the movie. But it was
Like, baby.
it was a really fun game to play, and
Yeah.
seeing how each one of the Looney Tunes played differently and trying to get them to dunk. But here's the thing, I found out about it late because my cousin let me play his, but then I didn't know that it was already like years old. So I had to hunt for it. But once I did, it's probably the only sports game I ever beat my dad at, but still.
There you go.
You know?
yeah. That was actually a really good game. I remember that. Until you said it, I didn't even think of it. But my number 4 is definitely going to be Spider-Man 3, bro, for the PS2.
Oh, okay.
Don't get me wrong. Like all 3 of those Spider-Mans, that collection was really good. I remember playing the Spider-Man for the PlayStation, the original, and that was when the Tobey Maguire one came out. But when the third one came out, you could play as a Black Suit Spider-Man. You fought Venom. Like that junk was it just took us to another level. That was before we had, the incredible Spider-Man games that we have now. Like, you were able to fly around and, web sling and stuff like that or whatever. It was another level. So that was definitely one for me.
The
I was
extra
so used
stories
to
in those games is what got me. Like the extra stories and the game mechanics. Because I remember in Spider-Man 1, basically, if you're webbing, you don't know where the web is going, but he's going anywhere. But then once they got to two, you had to be a little more strategic as to when you shot your web. So that's what I loved about it. And then the extra story on top of the movie story was to me was excellent.
Nice. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely
What you got for number? What we on? Number 3. Number 3. What you got? Number 3.
Number three. Oh yeah, number 3. Toy Story 2.
Whoa, Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2.
Was that PlayStation?
That was PlayStation. They also had it for Dreamcast. It was a multiplayer. It was a multi-platform thing, and I ended up getting both because my mom mistook one of the things I wanted for Christmas for that. She just saw Buzz Lightyear on the cover and just thought I wanted that one. But but Toy Story 2, number 1, graphics were good for the time. There was they had the cutscenes from the movie, and you played as Buzz Lightyear the whole time.
That's right. Okay, yeah, I do remember that one.
You played as Buzz Lightyear the whole time, and it did in playing because I remember playing Toy Story 1 on Sega, right? And the thing about those games were because you're toys, everything does look big. Everything looks bigger, right? You feel you feel the like how big the room is compared to someone that size,
Yeah,
but
that damn Toy Story game, the first one was hard as shit, man. I remember playing that junk.
That was hard.
That was really hard,
especially since you couldn't save.
Yeah,
right?
you couldn't save it. That's a good point. You forget about that shit. You couldn't save games until like Dreamcast, really. Like, yeah, you PlayStation, you had memory cards, and you finally were able to save like, you couldn't even save a lot because there were only 8 mega block memory cards. They weren't like anything like crazy.
They weren't anything huge, right? And I was trying to save everything. But Super Nintendo, I remember Super Nintendo had select games that could save internally, right?
That's right. Yeah, they did have that too.
And that was the first time I had ever seen something like that at the time. So yeah. All
right, Toy Story, that's a good one. My number 3 is going to be I don't know if you guys remember this one, but in 2007 TMNT, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out with a movie. Bro, they had this game we had it for Xbox 360. My brother and me had just got it. Like we just like whatever, we like on some whim shit. And we went home and we popped that shit in, bro. And when I tell you, we was just banging that shit out, bro.
Fun.
Fun ass game. It was like it kind of stayed true to the movie, but
Yep.
like the fighting mechanics were good. The graphics were good. The story was good. Like it was a really good Ninja Turtle game. So
Nice.
yeah, we love this guy. I still got it to this day. Me and my wife were playing it a couple years back. Like I got the
Aw.
Xbox, everything hooked up right now. Yeah, so we still have it. It's scratched up pretty good, but it still plays a little bit. So yeah, but TMNT, that was definitely a great one for me.
Nice.
But all right, let's jump into number 2. Y'all know my number 1, so this is basically my number 1. What's your number 2, Kyle?
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2. Okay, all right. So you coming out with Spider-Man?
Yeah, Spider-Man 2. Like I said, it was the mechanics that did it for me, and the extra, and the extra story. It very much like it made me. I was like, why wasn't Black Cat in the movie? They put Black Cat in this, but they didn't put Black Cat in the movie. I had a crush on Black Cat. So
oh shit,
it was like no, it was a dope. It was just a great great time and doing those little like side missions. Some of the side missions I could not complete. Because those things were timed.
I didn't even mess around. I think Spider-Man 2. I don't know if I played the second one. I know I played the first one. I played the third one, but I don't know if I played the second one. I might have played it for a minute or whatever, but I never had it. But yeah, I mean, all those Spider-Man games were pretty good, man. You remember how good the damn Spider-Man 2 is one of my favorite movies, superhero movies of all time. I mean, that movie was so damn good. The depiction of Doc Ock and everything and how he fought them when they were fighting on the train, one of the best fight scenes ever.
Yeah.
Like yeah, so that's definitely a dope pick. My number 2, once again, like I said, Batman head all day, every day. Batman Returns for Super Nintendo. Has to be for Super Nintendo too. One of the greatest Batman games ever. Just the fighting mechanics, the boards that you had to play, the music, the everything about this. Like this is almost number 1 for me. But Aladdin was just I still play Aladdin to this day. So I couldn't pass that up. But yeah, this game was so damn good. I remember the first time I was able to play it was at my cousin's house. And I would love because we would all, pass the controller and play like Mortal Kombat and this and that. But whenever everybody would go away or do something else, I'd try to find a way to sneak back in the room and play it by myself and shit. Like, because there's nobody else around. So I was able to finally, have my time and just play it however I wanted. But this damn game. Oh, let me see. I got action part. All right, cool. And you was just able to like fight the big ass dudes and kick the big skull head guys in the head while they were riding on the motorcycle. He would be able to shoot the grappling gun, fly down, pick both guys up, smash their heads together. Bro, this game is so good, bro. Did you ever play it?
I never did. No, I never did. I forgot about it.
Really good, bro.
Yeah, and I forgot about it, to be honest.
Konami, man. Konami used to give us like classics, bro. Konami gave us classics back in the day, bro. You forget how many games they came out with that were so damn good on Sega and even Super Nintendo. And yeah, they were really great, bro. But yeah, number 2.
Oh, man.
All right, what you got, man? Let's wrap it up. So you're going to close it out with the last 2 because everybody knows my number 1 is Aladdin. So.
All right. Yep. Number 1 for me. Okay. Number 1 for me. Even though
What's your number 2? Or did you said Spider-Man 2 was your number 2?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep. Number 1, GoldenEye 007.
I knew it. I knew that was going to be it.
GoldenEye 007 is probably the only first-person shooter I was actually okay at. You know what I'm saying? Not even great, just okay. Just okay. And it just really the music, the story. Even though I never owned an N64, I got to play it with my cousin who owned an N64.
Me too. That's the only time I played it.
And she, like, I think either her and her dad played through it to get like the golden gun or whatever, but she knew codes. You know what I'm saying? You always had friends or family or somebody with a strategy guide that knew some cheat codes.
Game Sharks and shit.
Sharks. Exactly. The Game Sharks that going on early internet to find these things.
That's right. Yeah, for real, bro.
You know,
That shit was with Grand Theft Auto. I did that shit with a couple games where I was finding out cheat codes and yeah, no. Yeah, GoldenEye was one of the ones that I liked because but like you said, my cousins had it. I didn't
Yeah.
have an N64. I had PlayStation. I never really messed with Nintendo. I didn't care about, Super Smash Brothers and all that stuff. So it's like when I saw them playing GoldenEye, it was literally, I remember the TV was on a dresser and they're all standing up. We're all standing up looking at this damn little ass TV on the dresser, and they're all playing 4 screens. And then somebody die, and all the blood would just drop down in front of the screen, and then they'd back out or whatever.
I think that
But
might
I
have been the
remember
first time I ever saw like four four
4
screens on a
squares,
split
right?
screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't remember that
like
either.
like with because I remember there were peripherals for PlayStation to like have like extra players or like wireless, like extra wireless controllers or whatever, but they didn't really work well. And then you
Yeah,
had the Super Nintendo. They made sure to come out with 4-player capability.
that's
You
right.
know,
Yeah, and
so
then PS2 and or PS. I think PS2 or PS. I think PS2 came out where you can play. They had like that adapter where you
they
could
had an
plug it in and
adapter. Yeah,
plug in
they
more.
had an adapter. That
Yeah.
was now it's pretty standard. You
Yeah,
know,
you can play anybody fucking plays 9 players. You can get on damn wrestling and Royal Rumble and everybody fucking play.
yep.
40 people play that motherfucker. All right, guys. Yo, that was the top five games made from movies. Yo, listen, thank you guys so much for rocking with me and Kyle. It's been a great episode, man. I really enjoyed talking about, I love video games, man. Guys, I want to say this. I probably should have said it at the beginning of the episode, but I'm going to repeat it and I'll bring stuff back or whatever next week. But yeah, so if I didn't say it, I think maybe I did mention it a little bit. My equipment was messing up. But yeah, we're going to actually be taking more of a different approach with the entertainment show. I've really been enjoying these episodes. I know that, even in the introduction, you see, like, a lot of people just come on, we talk to different artists and stuff like that and show off and all that stuff. And that's been like the catchphrase for the entertainment show since we started. Come on and show up. I love it. But unfortunately, like, I really am enjoying, not even unfortunately, I really am enjoying like just the dialogue, the context. There's always new stuff going on. Me and Kyle be vibing with, stuff going on. Y'all be vibing. Y'all watch this show more than any of my other shows. And
Shout out to
that's
everybody.
including the
Shout out to
wrestling.
everybody watching. I've seen the views. Thank you.
For real, bro. I really like appreciate everybody who watches our show. Hope you guys are enjoying our conversation. We're only going to get more and more. Like, the entertainment show isn't going anywhere. I'm not taking any kind of breaks anytime soon, so we're gonna be rocking, yo. But yeah, it's gonna be more dialogue like this. You guys feel free to jump in the comments, tell us your favorite top 5, whatever the segment is that day or anything we're talking about, man. Next week we will be back. We're talking about Christmas, bro. We back with Christmas, man. Christmas movies, and maybe we'll even get into like some gifts and stuff like that, and kind of have a little bit of an episode and go from there. But yeah, we here, man. Yo, been a lot of fun, bro. A lot of fun. Kyle, what you got going on, bro?
Man, I'm trying to get so I'm trying to hold myself accountable, bringing one of my shows back, A for Able, trying to bring that back for 2025. So I'm getting things together, trying to get some people, an interview, and also want to do some like solo episodes because I got stuff on my mind, you know what I'm saying? But
make it happen.
But y'all wanna hang with me, talk about mental health, talk about living with disabilities, and just talk about the way the world is. That's what you go to A for Able for. Now that is a pre-recorded show. I've never done one live. Maybe that'll change. I don't know. But
hey, man,
But for 2025, definitely trying to bring that back. Also, shout out to the the podcast that I am lucky to work with. Shout out to Tea and Cornbread. Shout out to Running Back CT. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brad City TV, people I'm lucky to work with, and shout out to you, Brian. For bringing me on.
Yes, sir. Well, shout out to you for being here, bro. Like, I really appreciate, you come on every week and we have great convo, bro. The time passes so fast. I'm like, damn, we got to get to some of the stuff we got. We be talking stuff, but people loving it. And I appreciate you every day. You able to jump in, bro. I know, especially around the holidays, it's not easy to, stay committed. But, man, we killing it on here. Yeah, we're going to be doing some different things. I actually got a different venue as well, Kyle. On our web show, we got somebody, Bridget from STR Nation. She gave me a good idea, and she wants to do something every month for mental health. So yeah, we'll talk about it. But Beeline, I love you guys so much, man. I really, really love you guys so much. We've had an amazing year. A lot of growth, a lot of progression, a lot of changes. And for the better, all for the better. I can't wait for you guys to see what we got going on in 2025. I've been working like a madman back here, and I have a lot of new stuff. It's going to be a new introduction to all of our shows. We're going a little bit more basic, but it's basic is not meaning worse. It's meaning just leaving room for a whole bunch of new stuff. And we're going to start focusing on the content of the shows a lot more. So you guys are about to be in for a treat, man. But until then, this is still the place where you can come on. No, we ain't gonna do it. All right, one more for the road and show. Right. One more, but yeah, you never know. The show off segment might come back. Listen, ain't nothing dead forever. But for my man Kyle Eric, he over here chilling in the cut, and your boy Brian B. We will see you next week, guys. Love you so much. Have a great night. Peace out.